السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم؟ بارك الله فيكم. Inshallah, this semester fiqh will be initiated with this topic, which is nawaqid al-wudu. Nawaqid al-wudu means nullifiers of ablution. That is, what are the things that cancel or that can cancel one's ablution? What are the things that can invalidate one's ablution? That is the name of nawaqid al-wudu, nullifiers of ablution or abolishers of ablution. First of all, let's talk about the definition of nawaqid al-wudu. Uh, Technically, مفسدات الوضوء التي إذا طرأت عليه أفسدته. If we say nawaqid al-wudu, it means the actions that whenever they occur on something, so they invalidate this one state of purification. Whenever these things happen, whenever they occur, they invalidate the state of purification. They turn one from state of purification to state of impurification. Now, what are these nullifiers? The first one here is al-khariju min as-sabil. Al-khariju min as-sabil, it means what comes out from the private part. What sabil here means private part. So that is the first thing that can invalidate one's ablution. Anything that comes out from the private part, either from the passage of the urine or from the passage of feces. Okay. الخارج من السبيلين إما أن يكون بولا أو منيا أو مذيا. Sometimes what comes out from that passage, it may be urine, it may be uh, semen, it may be preseminal fluid, and also sometimes it may be menstrual blood or feces or gas. All these things, they can invalidate one's ablution. Okay. وكذلك ينقض خروج دم الاستحاضة وهو دم فساد لا دم حيض. Uh, it can also break one's ablution, that is, coming out or discharge of istihada blood. Istihada blood is not the same thing as haida blood. Istihada is an irregular bleeding. Okay, it's not the same thing as the menstrual blood because that one is considered as a corrupt blood. I mean the istihada blood. Okay, so there is an hadith that is narrated by Fatima bint Abi Hubaysh. So the hadith states that Fatima bint Hubaysh, she used to experience istihada, and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said to her that تَوَضَّئِ وَصَلِّ فَإِنَّمَا هُوَ دَمُ عِرْقٍ. That is, make ablution and pray, for it is only blood from a vein. Okay. Also, وكذلك ينقض الوضوء خروج الريح بدلالة الأحاديث الصحيحة وبالإجماع. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم: ولا يقبل الله صلاة أحدكم إذا أحدث حتى يتوضأ. I've already mentioned this one before, but um, the evidence is stated here. So what is the thing? That is, release of wind or gas can also invalidate or nullify one's ablution. So this is established by authentic hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept the prayer of any of you if he breaks wind. That is, if he releases a gas until he performs ablution. That is the hadith. That's what that supports that. Releasing of gas can also invalidate one's ablution. And also we have other hadith like that. Now, another thing here is أما الخارج من البدن من غير سبيلين. We mentioned that the first thing that can invalidate one's ablution is anything that comes out from the private part. So now the question comes that what about something that comes from the body but not from the private part? Like other parts of the body aside from the private parts that we have. So they said أما الخارج من البلد من غير سبيلين كالدم والقيء والوعاف فموضع خلاف بين أهل العلم. That is, any substance that exits the body but not from the two private parts, like blood, vomit, or nosebleed. So they said this is a matter of scholarly disagreement. That is, there is a divergence of opinion among the scholars. So if they invalidate wudu or they don't invalidate wudu, but the most preferred opinion, that is the strongest one, الراجح أنه لا ينقض الوضوء. That is, the stronger view is that they do not invalidate wudu. Okay, but خروج من الخلاف لكان أحسن. But to avoid this scholarly dispute, is better to renew ablution. Okay, that is, we should renew the ablution just to what, just to avoid the scholarly dispute among the ulama. So that is the first thing that invalidates ablution. That is, anything that comes from the private part. And for the substances that come from the body, there is a divergence of opinion. And the stronger one is they don't invalidate one's ablution. But if you still want to perform ablution, you can do. Okay. Now, the second thing that can also invalidate one's ablution is zawalul aqli aw taghtiyatuhu, which means that loss or covering of consciousness. Okay. Loss of consciousness can occur maybe due to sleepiness, that is when one is sleeping, al-igma, or through fainting. It can also occur through fainting. So whoever loses consciousnness or has it covered, maybe by slumber, by sleeping, or anything similar to that, or fainting, so his wudu is considered as invalid because uh, loss of consciousness can invalidate one's ablution, one's wudu. Okay. Then it is said here that فمن زال عقله أو غطي بنوم ونحوه انتقض وضوءه لأن ذلك مظنة خروج الحدث وهو لا يشعر به إلا يسير النوم. So this is the point I want to mention here. That is, if someone sleeps now, but the sleep is a light one, okay, that is anything that happens during the sleep, the person can explain. Okay, it's not that deep sleep. So if it is light sleep does not nullify one's wudu. Okay. They said لأن الصحابة رضي الله عنه كان يصيبهم النعاس وهم ينتظرون الصلاة بينما ينقضه النوم المستغرق جمعا بين الأدلة. They said because the companions of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they also used to doze while waiting for the prayer without performing any ablution afterward. Okay, so this is an evidence that light sleep does not nullify one's wudu. It is only deep sleep that can nullify. So this is where we're going to stop today, and from here we will continue next week. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.